Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
And I'm Pepper.
And today we're doing another round of Take My Money, where we look at some current crowdfunding projects related to board games. And yeah, we weren't sure if we were going to do one, I think this week or last week or whatever. But we did get a request for this first game here, so we figured we'd definitely check it out. And then, I mean, there's just quite a few projects to at least take a look at. I think that we thought were fun to take a look at. So yeah, we got quite a few of them here to go through. But yeah, let us know in the comments below what you're currently backing, what you're looking at, what you're maybe hoping to get. I think kind of right now as the World Series of Board Gaming, and next week I think is Essen Spiel. So maybe if you're going to that, let us know what games you're getting there. It's a little bit different from this, obviously, but I think they're going to have hot new games there as well. So maybe there's something non-Kickstarter that you're looking at right now. So let us know in the comments below what you're currently looking to get.
Yeah, but I think we have about a dozen projects here, so another big week. So definitely just get more and more projects. This first one is Feud, the Seer's Prophecy. So this is an engine-building Viking duel game for 2 players. And just initially, from seeing this first picture here, it looks like we got neoprene mats and a ton of cards, which a lot of dueling games do have cards, very card-based mechanic.
Either cards or dice.
Yes, and this one has 62 hours to go at the time of this filming, so it's going to be a little less than that, but I'm not sure if there's a late pledge or anything, but if you are watching this very quickly after we post it, go check it out. It might be running out of time, but nearly 500 backers and over $25,000 raised here, so this person had created one before. I'm not sure what that was. I didn't check, or
I don't remember what it was
either.
Yeah, this one looked like an interesting. I always am, interested in 2-player specific games, kind of some battling type games. I've really liked the Unmatched game, which is 100% card driven, and this one is card driven, but then it's also got some other elements that seem more Euro-y than most of these games, I felt.
Yeah, it has kind of these printed areas of your board, and you'll be moving your cards around on that board, and they will kind of add to that action for you. So in this case, these 2 characters as well as your leader there, which your leader kind of goes in between areas, and that's really cool from what I see. That can kind of be in multiple areas, I assume. But yeah, so then this area for market, which is gaining money, will then have 3 powers, so you'd gain 3 money, and that's kind of how this thing works. Otherwise, you can send out to defend or possibly battle your opponents, so you'll have these boards kind of facing each other and be dueling in that way.
Right.
That looked pretty cool. This kind of made me think of something like Raiders of the North Sea, and that might just be kind of just how it's made up, the Viking theme, and kind of how it's laid out with your base here and different actions. But it made me think of that initially, even though gameplay-wise, I don't think it plays the same. But it is a unique mechanism moving things around.
Yeah, I don't know of too many like battling games where you're gaining your resources in a almost worker placement type style, so that's kind of a unique thing. But yeah, it's also not like too much. It's not like you're taking, it's not like you have a ton of different actions you're selecting from or something. It's still the kind of main thing of the game is going to be going out and battling.
You
can see here for battle.
Yes, but yeah, it's got a set of cards that you choose at the beginning of the game out of the 70 types of cards. I think you choose 12 for each game, and then also have kind of a base that is symmetrical between the 2 players that you can choose from. But yeah, so that's similar. I think we compared it a little bit to Dominion. Now you have all those different setups and kind of just the market of cards that you can add to your board. But yes, then the battling as well. I'm guessing a lot of these have different effects and different power and defense. So pretty regular stuff for battling games.
All right.
But yeah, this one looked pretty cool. I really, like you said, there aren't that many battling games that have that other half that is, Euro.
Right.
And it was Euro-y, but also approachable.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like you can move it around pretty freely.
Yeah, that's what it seemed
which
like.
I like, and I don't want just a bunch of little rules to get caught up on and be
Right.
like, okay, so can I move this here or there? It seemed
Pretty streamlined.
pretty streamlined, yeah. But yeah, this comes with 3 large neoprene mats, so you have, is it just one? Okay, so there are a couple additions here, but yeah, the base one will be about $48. You'll get those neoprene mats and a bunch of cards, just lot of cards, nearly 300 cards in the game, and then some tracking discs and health markers, as well as a wooden insert which stores all of those cards, which you can see. You can shake it all you want, and those cards
Shake it off.
will not come loose, so that's good as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully...
It's kind of a bigger box than
Yeah.
originally I thought.
Yeah, I mean, at least it fits. It is an awkward shape, but it does fit the neoprene mats, and that solves that problem, because that would be, I think, even more awkward if you had to find somewhere else to put them.
Yeah, we don't get the only. Well, I think we have a couple games now that have had rolled up neoprene mats in the boxes, but otherwise we typically don't. We don't get neoprene mats.
Yeah, we had Wingspan for a while where we had to store separately, but finally got that nesting box to put them in there. And, it's just so much easier if you can keep it in the box.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this one does that. That'll be like $48 for that base game. Otherwise, you can add on another $4 about, and then it would also buy a game for a local library or youth center. So
for every 5 of those pledges,
for every
I think.
5.
So that's a cool little thing that they did.
And Super Backer, you can bump it up a lot, hundreds, to get your name on the box and your name and image onto one of the heroes. Which, if you're, I mean, I imagine there's people who go that option a lot, and that's just something they really love to have in the games. And that would be really cool
if you've got the money and you like to do that.
And if it becomes like one of your favorite games,
I
think that would. It's up to the person. I was going to say that would be worth it, but probably wouldn't be worth it for me. But I could buy so many more games, but
there's the option.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, this is looking for August of 2024.
So about a year out.
Yeah.
Ish. A little less than a year.
Shipping's looking to be another $20 plus for the United States.
And some parts of Germany or something looks free. I'm not sure what that is, but yeah. So then it's getting up there a little bit, but. Yeah, it's kind of. I think you'll know if it's kind of a game for you or not. Because it does have kind of a feel of a Dominion plus a Battler out of it. So you'll kind of probably know if it's one for you or not. But it looks good.
Yeah. Ooh, then on to Mythic Mischief Volume 2. Which,
yes.
I guess, had you ever been interested in the series?
I'm going to be honest, the first one did not interest me very much at all.
Okay.
And I think it stayed about the same here. I don't... There's just something about it that just doesn't pull me in. I don't know what it is. But yeah, it's
doing well.
I'm apparently out of the loop on this one.
They don't need your support.
They don't need my support. So I'm not saying it's a bad game or anything. It just, I don't know. It doesn't excite me. But it obviously excites a lot of people. It's almost at 640,000, and it's got over 5,000 backers, which is pretty sweet. Still got about a little under a week to go. So, this one, I think they have a lot of content for this one, so you can definitely check all that out. They have all the big YouTubers out there. So, any YouTuber, any of your big ones that you watch probably did some content on this one. Except us, of course.
Yeah,
so.
Except us. I mean,
probably
it may change his mind if he gets a copy, he gets to check it out, give him a chance to play it, and he might fall in love with it.
That's my chance.
High replayability, looks like a bunch of different factions or characters you can play as, slotting things in, upgrading things maybe. I don't know exactly how it plays, but it looks like you're kind of moving around this map, and I think kind of the hedges on there shift throughout the game, and trying to line it up to hurt or take out opponents with maybe kind of this neutral. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's
I don't
like
know thematically what it is.
Yeah, I didn't look at this one as closely just because I assumed it was probably in a similar vein to the first one. But yeah, I think in the first one you're kind of going and trying not to get caught and trying to get other people caught in ways and stuff.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, it didn't really speak to me. So I'm guessing it's maybe
Yeah.
something like that. Like you said, they're probably you're moving around a board and trying to do, I'm sure, some interesting things. You know, take interesting tactics. Um, but yeah, you got a lot of options for things on this one as well. You can
Yes.
spend a lot of money very quickly. You can spend almost probably as much as you could spend on getting your name on the side of the Feud box.
Yes, that is true. Where is it? Let's find the levels, the backing levels, because
It's a lot of stuff.
it looks good. I like the components in the game.
I do like the look of it.
Yeah.
The gameplay I know did not interest me as much, but now you've got corridor happening on this one, so.
Yeah, so asymmetric abilities, mischief points, action tracking dice, legendary abilities. Yeah, it looks really nice, but it also looks like a very tight board, and I don't know. It just feels like it's going to be a chaotic game. I don't know. I haven't watched any playthroughs of it, but just kind of the vibe I get from the whole page and any videos I see, I'm like, okay, this looks like this could be a bit too chaotic, possibly, and with mischievous, I guess,
Right.
I should say, but maybe not. I don't know. I'll have to look into
Got some
it
different
more.
game modes you can do.
1v1, 1v2, 2v2, tournament, solo mode, blitz mode, blitz teams.
Yeah, you got a lot you can do.
Blitzkrieg. Turksy, obviously,
And-
Nick Shaw.
Of course
Coming
he is.
for the solo mode. I'm not familiar with Nick Shaw's, but Turksy does do a
Solo
lot,
a
I
lot.
know, and I'm sure Nick does a lot as well. Sam Smith, turning to his next career of board games. A lot of components here. Where are the pledge zones? My goodness, I didn't want to. I thought they were near. I was like, I could just scroll here, but we're going down this page.
We're gonna find it yet.
We are finding. Now I'm gonna scroll too far. Yes,
You
I
did.
scrolled too far. So $59 for just this base volume 2 version, which I assume you can start off with this one. It's a standalone, yeah, perfect for owners of Volume 1 or anyone looking for a fresh start with Volume 2.
Yeah.
So that one.
I do like that it's not like, oh, you have to have the
Yeah.
original one for this, so you can just get just this if you want to.
Yeah, for sure. And then $99 if you want it painted. So that would come with pre-painted minis, which just minis for each of the 4 factions. I think each of them had like 3 or something. So is it worth 40 more bucks for painted minis? I mean, that's up
Depends on the
for them to
person.
decide. You could go get everything that's out there, I believe, the 2 volumes, and then it looks like an additional Appendix A boxes, whatever that includes. So that'd be another $100
Not painted.
to that with no painted minis. So that includes those minis for those. All 11 factions, then you would be up to in that case. Or you could go painted alumni bundle, which has volume 1 minis, volume 2 gameplay. So all minis painted, but then also the new version, I believe is what that is. So that as well. Or you can go for $259 and get everything
painted.
everything painted, which at a jumping in to be paying $260, that's a bit much for me, and I feel like that I wouldn't go to that level. So the base game, which still has minis, it's not like you're going from minis to standees. The base game being
I do like that.
only $59, which is still really nice components, like I said.
Right.
And that's a pretty good price.
And I actually like the colors of the. I don't even know for sure that the painted is better. I'm not 100% convinced.
Yeah, I
They're
agree with
good.
that because I do.
They're good, but
that is one thing that attracts me to the game is the colors in the game, and I kind of like the simpler, just like this light purple and the pink colors there versus maybe harder to see, just more busy on the board when it's already a pretty busy board. If they're painted, I think you're right. I probably do prefer these ones. So
yeah, because they're like Oh, it's one. It must be the ones with the green bases
Okay, so
versus
these
the
ones
purple.
would be...
But I mean, like, it's not immediately obvious.
No.
That I mean, maybe it is, but
Yeah.
yeah. I guess if it is this obvious,
And
maybe.
we don't play with very many painted miniatures.
That's true.
So it's just different. So if we did play a lot with those, I could see really getting to like it.
That's true. Yep.
But yeah, that is everything upgraded there.
Yeah, definitely a lot.
Yes. And then add-ons there, dice, whatever they are. You know what they are if you know what they are. Oh boy, you can get some clothes.
Some merch.
Some merchandise. And this is looking to, ship in August. And shipping will be $15 for the lower 48 in the U.S. Or maybe a little bit more. If not
a lot of
there.
it more.
But yeah, it's a wide range of shipping prices.
Yes.
As usual. But yeah, looks nice, well-produced game. Pretty good price for the base game.
Yeah. I mean, it's not crazy for probably. I mean, otherwise you're gonna get the base game, and I'm guessing the original was probably about the same price initially. So I mean,
yeah,
you're just paying a little bit more for all the painted stuff.
Yeah.
If you wanted to get that.
I think it said it might have been on Tabletop Simulator or something, so maybe we could find it online, and I would definitely prefer to try it before buying it. But yeah, on to a game with a theme that we have a lot of.
Yes.
Which
dinos.
There are even a bunch of different themes within the dinosaur theme, so some of them are more like scientifically based, and some of them are more run your dinosaur park, and chaos usually ensues, and this is definitely one of the more realistic, scientifically based games of that bunch.
Yep.
This one has 388 backers. Yeah, Lands of the Mesozoic, I think you might have said it, I did not. $26,000, so 10 days to go still. So
got time. It can maybe
even more.
Get up a little bit further.
But yeah, immediately it's like, oh, dinosaurs. I'm interested just based on that.
Yeah.
What is this game about? It's about dinosaurs. That's what I tell you. But yeah, the artwork in this one, I think they said they had some dinosaur painter. Whatever.
Yes.
Whatever.
Award-winning.
That's what
dinosaur painter.
That's what we call them. Award-winning dinosaur painter. You can look them up in here. I'm sure it mentions them, but I do really like the artwork on the cards.
Good artwork. It's really good artwork. So yeah, so you're kind of putting out, from the sounds of it, you got your tableau or your board pretty much, and you're setting out like lands, and then you have to get herbivores and carnivores. It kind of makes me think a little bit of either like an Earth or a Meadow type game. Not quite like that, but it just made me. Those were the ones that kind of made me think of.
Yeah. I feel like kind of the different effects, and maybe it's just like the layout on the cards, and maybe the artwork makes me think of Earth. But the kind of having to place one thing on top of another that it requires, that is very Meadow. I would say. Meta, yes. It looks like it would be a fun one, just because I do enjoy both those games. I really like Earth. Meadow I like all right, but.
But yeah, I don't know that it would play exactly like those, but yeah, I think you're just trying to get certain combos of cards to get points, and like you said, kind of the artwork looks pretty solid. I think the cards may be a little bit more busy or use some. Yeah, maybe that's not too bad. Maybe it's not too bad.
I think it's pretty good. It lets the artwork shine. Like this sidebar here kind of fades away. I like that it does that, and it's not just like a solid block of color. Just lets the artwork show a little more than some other games do. And but yeah, there are a lot of icons, so I'm not sure exactly how complicated this is gonna fall in there.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be pretty approachable. I would say probably between a Meadow and an Earth. Not that those are games that should be compared, but I don't think it's going to be
I would guess
as
it's
complicated.
Probably closer to Meadow.
Yeah, it seemed pretty approachable in how you're building out that board. But yeah, shipping...
$12 shipping for all U.S. backers.
For 1 and 2 game orders, so you can get the base game for $55, and then I think they said you can add on additional ones for 50 apiece.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the artist, Sergei Krasavitsky. I should have not attempted to pronounce, but yeah, it's pretty good. I want that on the wall.
That is a pretty good piece of art there.
But yeah, it's another dinosaur game. I don't know. Just like you said, it does feel like other games, so I don't know if it is worth it for us to really stand out, to be able to back it, even though I think it's a pretty good price. And it is a theme that we like. So eventually, I don't know what retail is going to be like on this one.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll be an option or not. Currently under 500 backers, but it's got about a little over a week to go, so it could get there. I don't know that at this rate it'll have a huge release necessarily, because this is the first time, I think. So that kind of plays into it as well. So unless they maybe worked with someone else, I'm guessing they're not going to have like a ton of copies available after the fact, if they have any at all. So this might be your best chance to get it if it's one that looks interesting to you. I think if I did see it after the fact, I might pick it up then.
Just for the, we just started a thing with our Dino Mania like a year or two ago, and now we're just, anytime we see a dinosaur game, it's like, we gotta add that in and add it to the collection and redo our rankings. We should have never done it.
But yeah, that one and this one both make me think.
Oh,
these are the games that Kickstarter's about. All four.
This is what Kickstarter was made for.
Exactly.
I feel like Mesozoic feels that way more than this one.
No.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because there's so many dinosaur-themed games.
There's a lot of dinosaur-themed.
But I was
like, recently there's been a lot
of many mushroom-themed games. This is like the fourth one we covered this year.
And there's still one to come, I think. There's Elizabeth Hargraves. Still hasn't come out. And I feel like that one's kind of been in the works for a little while. Not to say that these have... I'm sure all the mushroom games that have come out have been in the works for a while. Because I don't think it's like, I have an idea for a game, and you put out a Kickstarter 2 months later, or something like that, usually. So, I mean, but I think it's kind of been known, and people know her from Wingspan, and are all, obviously looking for her next game all the time, so I think she's talked about doing a mushroom game for a while.
But this is not.
This is not that one that I'm aware of.
But this one is doing... Surprise. This one is doing very well.
It is.
6,900 backers, nice, and 455,000.
Over 11,000 gold.
That was 420,000. But yeah,
I kind of wonder if they thought it would be that successful.
That is crazy. This is first created. They love mushrooms. That's their company logo there. Their user logo, and. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is about.
It's still got over a week to go too.
So
I mean,
it does. It has
definitely
nearly 2
going to
weeks.
go over 500,000. Might even get to 750.
Don't jinx it, man.
I hope it keeps going up.
But yeah, this one is. It felt pretty abstract in the actual gameplay because you have these tiles here, and you'll be moving kind of your mother mushroom. I don't know what it's called around and picking up tokens, I believe, as well as. I think kind of upgrading these, or decaying, or whatever, and sporing and spreading your cubes out into surrounding areas. Different things like that, but just with the board, it did feel very abstract.
It did feel like a very abstract strategy game. And it has that look to the board, too, I think. And you're building... one of the things you can do is kind of add to the board, continue to add it out, so your board, like you can see here, is going to be kind of play out different every game, and you're just moving your mother mushroom around and sprouting things out, and it sounds like it could be a pretty solid game. But it's kind of one of those that I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of these types of abstract games that I either really, really love what it does, or I really am not a fan. I think it's a very hit or miss thing for me. I don't know that many are just in between.
Yeah, This one seems to be pairing the abstract kind of board play with some more just regular game aspects with those kind of cards and different ways to score points. So it's not just purely abstract, get 5 in a row type thing.
Right.
So there's a little more to it. So maybe those are kind of more the type of games that
I
you
would
would
like.
enjoy.
Yeah, I tend to like that a little bit more. So
Yeah, but I like the look of it. I mean, yeah, I don't know if I love the look of it, but it is a
at
look.
first, I feel like I didn't like. I feel
Yeah.
like the more I look at it, I like it more.
Yeah, it feels just like a classic game.
It does. It does very much make it feel like a classic.
Like you just you go to grandma's house,
like a
you
chess
find
type
this
game,
in the closet. You're like, what is this? What are these components?
and you can see later on that they're
Yeah.
kind of going for that. I think.
Yep.
But yeah, you can fruit. That's how you put your different types of mushrooms out.
Roll the wind
Decay
dice,
it.
spread out your spores.
Discover new mushrooms.
But yeah, so like an okay, they're always a little different.
Automatopoeia.
Automata. Yes. But yeah, so the pledge tiers. Looks like we're gonna have 4 here, which I like that they have that. That's a nice little
that is
detail. 40, whatever that is, lira, and that will be. I saw this. I'm like $19.
back.
So that's gonna be $49.
It's not awful.
Plus tax and shipping, and that gets you everything there. Otherwise, you can bump up to a deluxe edition, which will be $66. Includes Australia expansion, so 18 extra cards, a deluxe embossed slipcase, a drawstring cotton bags, I assume 1 for each player, and then 3 A5 art prints. So if you really like the art in the game and want to get some prints, there you go.
And if you want even more art prints,
Even more art, bump it up to $104. Get all that stuff, plus a 2 signed art print poster, and even more art prints that you get to choose from all the 87 illustrations. And if you want more, the opulent
here
edition.
you're going into your chest area.
Go up to
chest area, chest area.
Something in the chest area here. $731 for this wooden edition, which it's not just a wooden box, at least.
Right.
Because I was like, oh, that much for just like a wooden box? It's wooden tiles as well, wooden boards for your things there. Everything's
wooden
upgraded
cards, shuffling. No, I don't think it's wooden cards.
Steel cards. No, just regular cards, I assume. Includes all that stuff. Although I don't know if it includes all that extra art stuff, so they need another pledge level to include that big sheet of art. But yeah, so that is a lot. That is a lot of money, and while I think it does, like you said, that's the classic game feel right there, and I think that is an amazing box of components. I still don't think that is worth nearly $731.
Yeah, I guess I would like to know what that costs to make. I have no idea. Maybe it does cost a lot, but even with all
there
that
are 39 backers of this.
I mean, it looks good.
It does.
It just that seems crazy.
Yeah, I'm like
it seems like maybe $200.
yeah,
That's
because I'm thinking
stretching
like a chess set.
But I guess I
that's
don't know.
kind of like what this is. If
Yeah.
if it's like a really nice chess set, and I'm like, I want this on display all
I
the
guess
time in my
I don't know
house.
what that costs either.
I would
so.
think I'd go up to like max $300 for that. Just if it's the nicest one you'd ever seen. I
Right.
absolutely love it. I think that would be my top ceiling, and even then, that wouldn't happen.
Right.
So to be over double that,
And it's a new game,
and a
so
new
it's
game.
unproven.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be the greatest abstract game of the year, and in that case, maybe it makes a little bit more sense. But
Yeah.
just being an unproven game, I don't know. That's tough. Like, yeah, even if I had endless amounts of money, that just seems a little crazy. But like I said, if there's any publishers watching, let me know what you think something like that would cost to actually put together, because I'm just wondering if that's realistic. And I'm assuming, there weren't like a ton of backers, so it's not like you're going to have a bunch of them printed off or made. I guess I don't know how they're making them, but
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, I mean,
maybe they're handmade. I don't know.
if someone works with wood and does that as a hobby, I feel like they could just create that for fun at like no cost. Absolutely
Yep.
no cost.
They could just do that for fun.
Absolutely no cost. Just go out and carve into a tree with their bare hands. But yeah, shipping is not too bad.
No,
That's pretty good shipping.
That's
pretty
$10
good
shipping. I mean, yeah. So then overall, if you got like the main version, what would it be? 60-ish bucks, and then if you got the
another, so that would be $50, and then.
And really, I'm
60,
actually
70
like,
bucks.
a lot of the times I'm into the deluxe stuff, but for me, I don't necessarily need the art prints, and I don't really want the
the deluxe
sleeve.
that I would be interested in would be the wooden components, the wooden tiles, and you got to go up to $700 to get that. So yeah, don't think we'll be doing that. Yeah, I am interested because even though that was only like 40 backers there, it still has a lot of backers. So I'm wondering
7,000.
how big of an impact this one's going to make.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping it's great and it does well, and we eventually get the game, and we're like, oh, this is an amazing game.
This would be worth $700.
And I hope we're like, why didn't we get that? Now those people that bought it for $700 are selling it for $10,000.
We could have been one of them.
We could have made 10x.
Although we would have loved it too much that we couldn't give it away.
But no, that's a good one.
Yep. On to one from one who did a very good one.
Yes.
Clans of Caledonia. This is the same designer as that. This is Millennia. This is
Karma Games.
Obviously, with Karma, designer of Clans of Caledonia, going to do well. Not as well as the Mushroom Game.
No.
Surprisingly.
But they're doing a kind of a weird strategy here. So yeah, this one's got almost 2,400 backers, almost 90,000. Still has 2 weeks to go, so I'm sure that'll keep going up. But and I might not explain it exactly perfectly. I'm sure it's explained somewhere in here, where they're having like 3 separate Kickstarters. They've already had one, Thiefdom, and this is the second one. And then I believe at the beginning of 2024 they're going to have the Clans of Caledonia expansion one, and then I think like February or March they're opening up a pledge manager that kind of combines all 3 of them, and then they're hoping to deliver it all in December. And I think that in the pledge manager they're actually having like a Verban right game as well. So they're kind of like combining 4 into 1. I don't know if it's to get an idea of how many to make or like getting the dollars ahead of time, but
maybe
I backed Thiefdom, but there is a little worry of like, okay, I don't remember when that one ran, but this one's running, a year and 3 months ahead of that hopeful December. Or when we're supposed to get it. That one was even earlier, so holding dollars for that long can sometimes be a little dangerous. You found, but I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's decently established company and designer, so that just is a little more faith to be put into them.
Right.
But yeah, you are right. It's always a risk.
Right. But yeah, still doing really well, but I think that part of it might play into it a little bit. I'm not exactly sure, though.
Yeah, it's just really weird. I'm like, why would anyone... I guess. I feel like you either put it towards the first one or you put it towards the last one.
Right.
Or I guess whatever you're most interested in is also as well, but I'm like, you have access to everything no matter which one you put it in.
I believe.
It's like, now, or maybe, unless there's some big twist coming and you're going to get bamboozled because you only put it into one. But yeah, I'm like, I don't know, it's just really weird. I've never seen it. As an expert who's been in this business for decades, I've never seen anything like this.
I will say, though, I am not going to be one of the bamboozled, because I also did back this.
Oh.
So, yeah. And to be fair, as we were going back through it and talking about it, so this is kind of a Civ-related game. Now that we're actually talking about the game, I'm sorry, explain that different thing, and I'm hoping it works, and maybe something like that will be done in the future for other companies. I'm not sure, but I think you have to be pretty good at managing your cash flow if you're going to do it this way. You can't just be using that money just to do random things. Otherwise, you're going to run into some problems around December of next year or earlier than that. But yeah, this is a Civ game, and it's making me think of a little bit of Tapestry because it's got all these tracks that you're going up on. But it's got more of a. I think one of the complaints a lot of people have of Tapestry is that you can kind of just get whatever technologies you want at any point in time. I've got this before I've got the nail. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Whereas this one does have like different types of tech that you're going to get, and then it's only going to be good for kind of a few rounds of the game, and then it'll kind of just be irrelevant from that point forward, obsolete from that point forward. So I do like the thought of that, and I think like I don't remember, some of them are treated differently than others, and kind of add to get you end game points or something. But I always like tracks in games, but I don't think this one. Also, I don't think it feels quite like some of the like Through the Ages and stuff. I don't think it's like that level of building a civilization. It's just more Euro-y. I mean, I guess I don't know. Are civilization games Euro-y? I don't know. But
I feel like there's something else. Just something else entirely.
Yeah, whereas I think this seems like it probably has more of a Euro-y feel.
Yeah.
And I think overall it looks good, but like we were talking about earlier, I don't know if this wasn't coming from them. If this was just a first time game
not
design.
The El Juju.
I don't know that I would back it.
Yeah.
I mean...
I personally, I wouldn't back it as is, even though I do like Clans of Caledonia quite a bit. Just, like you said, the board, I mean, they got pops of color there, but other than that, it is very just dry,
a little blah.
Euro,
I don't know that I
blah.
love the victory point markers being black, white, gray, and tan.
At least it's consistent. Sometimes it's
true.
like player colors are like, oh, like Bunny Kingdom has like, oh, it's pink, and then like just dark red, well, not dark red, but Germany colors, red, black, and yellow, which aren't really the Eastery colors you'd expect. At least this one is consistent in its gray, white, tan, and black.
It does remind us, I am more of a Euro game. Gives that look. But otherwise, I think it looks interesting. I'm very hopeful. Obviously, I backed it, so I'm hopeful this will be a great game. I like the idea of a Civ game. We did play Through the Ages once, and it was interesting. It was good, but I don't know that I would play it a ton. Whereas I'm hoping something like this, and kind of like we have with Tapestry, I could play those over and over again. So I'm hoping that'll be. And I may or may not have gotten the metal coins, but we'll have to find out when it comes.
We'll see whenever it shows up. Did he get the card?
I did not get the card sleeves.
He is sure of that.
Scared people.
He doesn't
I don't sleeve.
Just rip your sleeves off. No sleeves here. But yeah, so that will be base game is $31.
And I think
that's a big part.
That was part of it too. That I'm like, okay, well maybe I would have thought about getting it a little bit more because that's a really good, really solid price. I think the shipping is a little bit more expensive, but I think that's a part of this grander. I was going to call it a scheme. That makes it sound like it's something evil going on, but it's not that. But just this grand thing of putting all these together. I think, from my understanding, the shipping cost in total will drop the more of these different games you do get. So I'm hoping, they're all. I think the first one was $31 too. Oh, wow. So or something. It's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, if they're all around that, and then overall shipping's like, I don't know, for 3 games, 4 games, possibly $30, $40, $50.
Yeah.
I think that's not awful, especially for Kickstarter these days. We'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully it's good because if you can get any game, like $30 is like the minimum. The minimum for like something that's not a small game.
Right.
So hopefully it works out and it's a great deal, great games, great price, even if they're not necessarily my types of games. Although Thiefdom I was pretty interested in. And on to Founders.
Not Founders of Gloomhaven, not Founders of Teotihuacan.
I was going to say,
Just
I
Founders.
always want to say Gloomhaven. Although this would be more Frosthaven because it's in the ice universe.
Maybe it is.
Apparently that was a game. By this
Frosthaven? Oh,
yeah,
Ice.
Ice.
I see.
Which I do kind of remember Ice when I did look at it, but I'm like, Ice Universe? I assume they were starting here, but there's already games, so if you love that universe, check this out.
Yes.
13 days to go, 710 backers, over $51,000, so it has been successful. I like the look of this. Just the base, that looks like a really cool cover, unique artwork, and, I mean, the color scheme is... That yellow and blue is very common, but I like it.
Yeah, it's definitely a good-looking cover. I will say, though, once we got into the board and kind of
another
abstract game, it does not give me quite the feel of what the cover is showing.
No.
Whereas mushrooms don't give me like this epicness of a feel, so I'm not expecting as much from that.
Yep.
Whereas this, then you start getting these abstract tiles, and it's like, that art made it look so exciting, and now we're playing chess.
That is true. That is true. But you're not playing chess. But it felt like playing championship level chess to even figure out how this game was played. We had to go down and watch a video from Board Game Co. to really understand exactly how. Don't put it. Not saying it's a bad page or anything like that. We're just not good at figuring these things out.
No.
But then once it was explained, because there were a couple of things with scoring cards that was like, what? Why would you do this? Why would you do that? And then we were like, oh, I see. It all makes sense now.
Between two castles,
between two castles,
or between
score
two cities.
the lowest. And that's all we got to say about this. On to the next project. So in this game, you kind of have scoring cards. Well, you'll be building out this map together. I think was this the one you could play on top of other tiles, right? I thought I saw a clip, but I never saw anything else. Now I'm just remembering that now.
Yeah, I feel like I saw it once on here, but I don't know that I've actually seen it be utilized. And I don't think Board Game Co. said anything about it, but it's not saying that it couldn't be.
No,
I don't think he gave every minor detail of the game.
Yeah. But yeah, you have these scoring cards, which kind of give you a pattern and a color. So this one will be green ones need to kind of shoot out from the middle there. The red ones kind of have to have that formation because these are triangular shapes on this board, and you are trying to fulfill these for your colors. You'll have two different colors, and you won't know the third color that's out there. So then you're
in a three-player game. If there's more, there'd be even more colors.
Yep, that's true. But also, you know that another player has a yellow card if you have one, and another player has a blue card if you have one. So you know someone else is scoring those, and at the end of the game, for each color, you score for each of them based on what's on the board, the shared board, and whichever blue card scores the worst, that's the one you take. So you want to figure out what that person, try to find who is placing blue.
First find out who's doing that blue.
And what order they're doing it. And it doesn't seem like there's just like an overwhelming amount of options for the different configurations. So, which I think that.
But some of them did seem a little bit more difficult to understand than others.
Yeah, like something like the red one or whatever was very simple, where it's just like two of them kind of in that shape there.
Right.
But then something like that is, I think, just kind of in that section there, which could possibly be a pretty busy board and hard to figure out what that is. But I think some of them, they said, where it's like a zone or whatever, you can kind of choose at the end of the game which is the most beneficial. But yeah, so it can be. I am interested just how hard it is to figure that out. And hopefully there is a reference to be able to look at all the different stuff. I think this is
and what
all
they
the different
mean.
options.
Because obviously if you have one, you can't just be like, oh, what does that one mean?
Yeah, and if you're looking through the rule book, it's like, okay, so a complicated one they have.
Right.
But it is a really cool idea.
It is a cool idea, although I was a little bit disappointed when that was the first thing I saw, and I'm like, okay, now we're talking. But then it had almost nothing to do with gameplay. It just had endgame scoring.
Like,
ramifications.
Because, that first one that slides in there, I think it's the green, not that green one, the other green one, you'll see it. We're going to stay on here. That one's just so satisfying how that fills up. It's like, oh gosh, this looks really cool. It is just scoring at the end, but it's unique scoring. I don't know if it's going to work in... I think it'll work, but I think it could be group dependent.
Yeah.
Since it's like somehow semi-cooperative. And also, you don't even get to use the tiles in front of you. I mean,
you're using
other people's tiles, which those are your tiles and these are theirs. It's the same thing pretty much, but it is abstract. I am interested in it, but I don't know player count as well. Yeah. Does this? I think there is a 2-player mode.
Yeah.
I don't know how good that would be.
As interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although,
but at the same time, I don't
players,
know.
That could be too much chaos.
Yeah, I'm guessing 3, maybe 4 is going to be the best player count for this one, just because, otherwise, even once you start getting to 4 players, you're starting to have 4 colors. So there's 2 colors you're not having anything with, and then you're trying to figure out with the 3 other players who's got what color.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in practice, maybe it becomes very obvious, but it's obviously hard to know when I've never played it.
And it's only $38.
And that's not awful.
For that base version.
That's true.
And then you get all of these components, cardboard tiles, and tokens. Pretty regular components, but that's a pretty good price for that.
Right.
You can bump it up to about, actually that one is, what is this one? So that is Founder's Standard Edition. Okay, and then it bumps up to that, which would be this Collector's Edition. They kind of skipped over Standard Edition with extra gameplay.
Oh.
So that'd be $74. That includes the 2 expansions, and then the Collector's Edition includes both the expansions, and it looks like UV spot on some of these things, as well as custom printed wooden things and metallic renowned point tokens, a custom yak pawn, and a velvet bag. So if you want to upgrade, I don't think, although these are pretty cool, I don't think that's needed. I don't even remember at the moment what the tokens
those were used for, but I think you
you can
somewhere.
change the colors of some of the places. Yeah.
I mean, they're cool, but
up to 5 players, expansion here, adding some tiles and an extra part of the board. Obviously, we wouldn't need that. We barely ever go to 5-player games.
Right.
And then expansion includes whatever that includes. I assume different gameplay things. I'd be much more interested.
One. I think
legacy rules. Oh, very cool. Very cool.
I think this would be more interesting than the other one to us.
For sure.
I'm not exactly sure how that would play, but I guess if I was going to, I think I'd probably just get the base on this, and if I was going to get an expansion, it'd be the legacy one. Otherwise, I don't think, those wooden pieces look cool, but I don't know that I would get them for this one.
Would you add on ice coasters, founders postcards, or the ice art book?
I think I'm going to have to pass.
What?
But I'm kind of interested. If anyone's watching still at this point.
Postcards, that's the first, I think. I might have seen some postcards.
We've got some for Dog Park.
That's right.
So, just a question if you're still watching. Do you usually back some of these side things, like, postcards, coasters, what else is that? I feel like there's been other things.
Yeah, just enamel pins.
Yeah, enamel pins
like
and stuff. Do you ever back that? I don't know that we really have, unless it just comes with the whatever version we back, but I don't think I've ever just individually added on any of those things. It's interesting, but I don't know if it would be one for our group.
I feel like it would be. I think I would enjoy it. I don't know if anyone else would enjoy it as much as me, and it's a game that you could very much just not be the game for you. I think very much. I don't think this is a game that Michaela would like at all. It's just not her type of game. She doesn't like those abstract type of games, and then just with kind of the weird cooperative nature of it.
In my thoughts, I think she would much rather play Between Two Castles of Mad King
Yeah.
Ludwig to have a semi-co-op
Yeah.
sort of feel, and high score, low score, or score your
Yeah.
lowest one.
Yeah.
I think she'd rather play that over this one any
Yeah.
day. So
Yeah.
it's a hard pull
Yeah,
for
so
us.
it's going December 2024, which is quite a ways away.
It's a ways out. Yeah.
But they want to get that ice vibe there. It's a very snowy game. Get the feels, and shipping would be about 10 or more bucks there. Well, I guess that's the art book. So more if you do get the game. So like 20 bucks or more. So it's a cool one. It's a unique one. I am interested how many bags.
A cool one.
A cool one, yeah. I'm not even trying, and I'm laying these masterpieces.
Oh boy, the big
the
daddy.
big one. Back to the big games. It feels like it's been a while since we had one of these
12,000.
just pure
Massive.
big games. Awaken
It
Realms.
does feel like it's been a while.
2 million.
Almost 2 million.
2 weeks left. 12,000
backers. That is a lot. And I will say, that cover to me is amazing.
I love that
That
cover.
might be one of the greatest board game covers I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, one of the greatest ever.
I really like that.
I-
And like you said before, a lot of them use like a blue, orange, blue, red. I mean, like you see that
Yep.
style thing, but
Yeah, that's Godzilla
They did it
versus
really
Kong
well.
right there. That's Mortal Kombat, the movie. It's the same thing over and over, but it works. And yeah, I've seen this one like kind of upcoming projects for a long time, and every time I saw that logo, that cover, I'm just like, oh, I know this is probably not going to be what we're looking for, but
yeah,
it's got me interested based on that. And a lot of people are.
a lot of people
interested.
agree. They
Yeah.
bought it solely for the cover, I think.
And I believe, is it just well? I
And
guess
it's Awaken Realms.
Yep. Yep.
Which is interesting at
Have
first.
they done any other games, Zach?
They've done a couple. They definitely do some bigger games. I would
Yeah.
say we've got a couple of theirs. We don't have like any of their campaign type
No.
games. We've got
No,
the
you-
Great Wall and we've got Castles of Burgundy. So
Yes.
about as Euro-y as they've gone, we've gotten those ones.
A little bit for everybody. But yeah, it looks like you can play in 3 modes: adventure, 1v1 arena, and roguelite, which is something RPGers, whatever. They all understand. I'm like, I kind of know what that is. Whatever.
I don't know.
And the artwork, when I look at these cards, I'm like, oh, that just looks so nice.
It's a lot of color, a lot of
Like
beauty.
this, with the cover, and it continues into the cards. I'm like, this is just
Is it Disney Lorcana though?
Pokemon style game. It might be. We will see.
But it was interesting. What's interesting to me, and I don't know, I haven't really looked so much into the gameplay and stuff.
Yep.
But this one it looks like it's mainly a card-driven game, and for some reason they've got the classic Awaken Realms minis, and I'm like, why do we have all these minis?
Because they're nice.
I mean, I understand they make great minis, but do they need to be added?
Yes.
I guess I don't know. Is it in the? I don't remember if it's in the base or not.
You'll see. You'll see.
We'll
Get
see.
twice as much for the same money. Look at that. In retail, you'll easily pay twice the price for the core box and the stretch goals, so you may as well get it now.
I feel like the Awaken Realms, maybe some of their stuff has been in retail, but I feel like they're
No,
typically in the
yeah.
past have not had retail stuff, but maybe they're changing their approach now. Because a lot of people like their games, and I know they've been hard to get in the past, so...
Look at that. You can
Maybe
get
they
standard edition or special edition. Which, look at that shine on that cover. Look at that. And look at that box lid. It already has a crack and doesn't fit completely. And now
Which is the typical Awaken Realms. I will say both of the games that we've gotten from... So, the Great Wall I backed, and I think I got pretty much everything.
Yep.
And I thought, okay, probably won't be able to fit all of it in one box, but I can hopefully narrow it down. And my gosh, if you leave things in like that, so they've got a ton of minis, if you kind of leave them in those trays and stuff, and I don't even know for sure, even if you did take them out and got rid of all the insert stuff and just threw the stuff in there, I still don't know how much would even fit in the base box because it's already extremely tight.
Yeah.
And there's these pieces that you kind of stack up, cardboard pieces, and they don't actually fit back in the box. The base game box that they came in without disassembling them. I actually got one sitting behind Sunrise
that's right.
Lane.
We do have them sitting out. That's right. Wow. Yeah,
which is disappointing.
That is disappointing.
So I am very, very concerned about this because Castle of Burgundy is also a very tight fit.
But look, the inside of the sleeve here is shiny, so you want to see it.
And it's not like this. I feel like this is going to be something that will have additional cards and content. So I'm like,
no,
this is already going to be a huge box.
No, never. But yeah, so this base sword, blah. Look at that. No pluses here. No pluses here. You get all the pluses with that. Special edition, 30 high quality, unique Mycelia miniatures, all unlocked miniatures, premium foil packaging for booster cards, Mycelia encyclopedia, 60 plus acrylic markers, and special edition big box, because this was a tiny box. But the prices, so base game, still a lot of stuff in there, I assume, and that's $55. That's a pretty good price. And for all that stuff, a bunch of miniatures, at least 30, and unlocked stretch goal miniatures, which are their classic, amazing quality miniatures, to only not even up to $120. I feel like that's a pretty good price, and maybe it's just that beautiful looking box.
It
and
is
all the
enticing
artwork.
you. That's why they got that sparkly shine going on there,
amazing production,
luring you in.
So all unlocked stretch goals, I assume. Yeah, that would be. In there you get whatever. They'll be added to every
pledge.
A
campaign,
player versus
2-player.
Play mode, all those different modes they mentioned earlier. So you get standees, which you get the artwork on there, which that's nice. That's a nice option either way. Otherwise, special edition, you would get the model. Obviously, very nice as well. And artwork there, it just continues to be fantastic. I don't know, just every card is, I'm like, I don't know who does this artwork, but
it's pretty good.
It is very nice. And then all the miniatures, there are a lot of them here, so I'm going to try to go pretty quickly, maybe settle on some of them that are great. But yeah, each one has that model, has the artwork. Oh my god, look at that. That
makes me think of Dwellings of Eldervale.
I was thinking, yeah, Dwellings of Eldervale, each one kind of, this one being like one of the wind-based ones. Look at this cover here on this card. That could be the cover of a game.
It could be.
Maybe
it'll be their next expansion.
All of these. This one could be a cover
They're
of a
each
game.
going to have their own individual expansion boxes, and it's going to take up an entire calyx. Not a calyx cube, an entire 4x4.
I wouldn't be surprised. And some more spooky demon ones as well. But yeah, a ton of them. I think that, 30 plus 10 more will be revealed later. And then you got booster packs, which special edition pre-packed boosters in a special edition. So everyone gets, I believe, you get these. Everyone gets them, gets all the same cards. It's not like you're adding on boosters. It just changes how you play your game based on which ones you open first, is what I believe it is. So then, that's okay, because when I initially saw it, and maybe I'm completely wrong and I'm making all this up, but I was like, okay, this isn't good. But then, because of that, you're not missing out. You don't have to dig and buy more and more. I'm like, okay, just customize the order of what you unlock. Yeah. I'm okay for that, because that does seem
if everyone
fun.
got the same
Opening up those packs would be fun, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd have to look more to make sure that that's 100% replayable.
100%! As opposed to every other game we looked at today. But yeah, I think that's what it is. That's what it sounded like from the video we watched. So every booster contains 13 cards, legendary foil card, 4 rare cards, 8 common cards. Core box contains all cards from Dragon Eclipse First Edition. So I would think it has everything.
Yeah,
I don't know why they still. I guess it just makes it sound good to list them all. But that doesn't make it seem like. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that is what it is. Yeah, I am definitely still a little interested, but
Oh, look at those foil cards. Oh my goodness. I am taken in by this artwork, by these components. An encyclopedia.
and then you
It's
gotta
totally
collect them all.
Gotta catch them all.
Catch them all, Pokemon.
Totally not Pokemon.
Sorry, it's super rich and engaging.
But yeah, and it
Nice
looks
locations.
yeah, nice,
Cool.
amazing, more amazing artwork, spiral book, and kind of looking, deciding where to go, and kind of you can see little things in the artwork that kind of tell you, like they talked about, like, oh, there's like a book on this building here, so that must be like a library or something. If there are kind of like a lot of little details that you can kind of deduce where you want to go, I like that. And it seemed like a lot of story as well, but apparently not. Like 10 minutes of reading every stop, 30 seconds of reading, and then 30 more, and then 30 more, up to 9 minutes and 30 seconds. But yeah, just kind of choosing your own adventure. That seems cool, and it didn't seem to, for being as big as it is, it didn't seem very overwhelming.
Yeah, because that would be one thing for how big it is. I'd be a little scared of, because I will say the Great Wall rulebook is not great. And I think that was an updated version.
And it is a wall.
I think
it keeps you from getting into the game.
It does a little bit. It was even updated, so I don't know. I don't think Awakened Realms is known for having the best rule books. So
get it together.
That is, it's unfortunate. I mean, everything looks amazing here, and if you let people down by having a bad rule book, what does it matter? So, just got to get someone help with that.
That's all they need. Yeah, you think it would be fixed by now, especially for the big companies. But oh well, can't be perfect.
Can't win them all.
But yeah, $120. That's great. Oh yeah, and then there's like a test system where you can flip some cards and try not to bust. Like it's like drawing from a bag. With Quacks Quedlinburg, you don't want to go over.
Right.
You can get different rewards based on your value, I think, which that seemed cool. Just a little push your luck in there. There's combat in there. A lot of good stuff. So yeah, it looks like you get collector's edition, which looks like it throws in neoprene mats, a bunch of stuff like that.
Don't need neoprene mats.
We don't need it. So special, but otherwise pretty basic pledge levels here. Either standard edition, get that one, and then everything that's just free with the backing, or get it with deluxe tokens and miniatures and all of that, and the book to keep them, which I think that would probably be useful to be able to store those cards. Don't think that's in there. I'm sure it's an add-on that you can have.
Right.
Maybe not. Let's see, where is it? Well, maybe not. Maybe it's not an add-on. Ooh, creature pack. Oh my god, terrain miniature pack. Is that included in any of these things? Okay. That is included in this one. Okay, so there are more. What do these look like? They don't have it. They do have. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh god.
Oh, I want to see that one. I want to see it. Okay. I'm not going to go all in on that, but I am very interested in this one. I will say.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty good.
Because it is, what, 1 to 2 players, I believe. That as well, just because we do play primarily 2-player games.
Right.
So it's another one I feel like lately, there's these big ones, they're like, is this the one? And usually not usually, we haven't gone in on any of these. But
bigger
one of these days,
they're gonna catch
this
us
isn't that
off guard.
It's not that pricey. I mean, it's pricey, of course.
They're luring us in, and then next year they'll have bam booster pack for $100.
That's true. Ooh, Sundrop. Oh boy, that's too much money. But look at, oh my goodness.
They don't need no Sundrop.
What was Tapestry and got? That was like $100. This is just a little more than that. 19
That's
bucks
true.
more.
That's true.
Plus
shipping.
Yeah.
So probably 150.
I forget.
Always gets
I
to
kept
150.
Looking,
it seems
game
like.
Found. I can never find the shipping on that site. But yeah, so maybe we'll see. We'll see. I have some time to decide. 13 days.
And now that we're definitely off the rails, we've got Vagrantsong, Encore, and Off the Rails expansions.
Yes.
Which is making $234,000. It has 2,600 backers. Has 2 weeks to go. So another one that's doing pretty well. Yeah, it seems like a lot of these are doing quite well this week. And
I was like, funded under 2 hours. I'm like, oh, what did they put? $200 funding? Oh, 55,000. That's actually pretty nice in 2 hours.
Yeah, and yeah, the original was one that I'd been a little interested in getting. I think the Dice Tower and some other content creators had said that they really enjoyed kind of the story that the original had and stuff. But we just, I don't know, we just never ended up getting it, buying this one. I don't know, it's just another, fortunately it's another kind of, I think it's more of a scenario, story-driven game, and I just don't know if we'll have the time to get to it. It looks, I like the artwork on this one, the look of it, but I don't know that I'm like fully pulled into what it looks like, the gameplay.
Yeah, I really love the original cover, just and kind of just how they have that bright kind of blue, spooky type color because it's kind of dealing with spirits and things like that. I like that throughout, and the artwork is unique. But yeah, I think it's kind of a boss battler type game, which is not what I expected just based on the cover.
Right.
Like it, I don't know what I was expecting, but that was not it. It's I don't know. Is it actually like a campaign type thing or just
maybe
individual
it's not really a
scenarios?
campaign scenario. It's probably more scenario.
Yeah,
I think.
It's a return trip, so if you have the base game and you want to get these new things, that'll be $65.
Which, I mean, 2 expansions isn't the worst, but...
Plus a couple neoprene dice tray. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, not awful. You can get it all for, what, $130? Which... probably decent. I guess I don't know. I don't know how easy it is to get. I haven't actually tried buying it, so I don't know how affordable it is right now. If you can easily go out and get the original game for decent price or not. I'm not 100% sure. I know I haven't seen it around that much, so maybe it's a little harder to get your hands on. So this might be a time to actually do it.
Yeah. Timeline for this is March.
So I mean, it's a pretty quick turnaround.
What is this company? What else do they have other than?
I honestly don't know.
So I was thinking, I'm like, it feels like it could be from someone that I know, but I do not know who. Whatever Weird Miniatures is.
Yeah, I don't know if they've done other board games. But
so you can add on. Oh, you can add on a plush. You can add on a plush.
Pretty cool. A bonus scenario you can get.
More content. Why? Just put it in the frickin' game, please.
That would be $7 more. $12 more.
Iconic Mako Joe. Throw them in there. Why not? Just $27. Vagrantsong base game. Just want that $72. Which that's a little more than I would think that would go for.
It seems a little steep, but I don't know how easy it is to get. I don't know what. I feel like it didn't have all that much in it. But
no, because
maybe it did. Yeah, it might. But yeah, I think there's just something about this one that hasn't like fully pulled me in. But like, if someone asked if I wanted to try it, play it with them, I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah. So. I would like to try it at some point because I think it is pretty loved by a lot of people. It's we'll see. It does. If it is that expensive all the time, though, I don't see us picking it up.
Yeah. Especially once you factor in shipping or something. Even if we were just getting a base game, it puts it up to almost $90 to $100. Which, I don't know. I'd have to play it and really love it, and if that was the case, probably be worth it.
Yeah. Yep.
But here's your chance to get it.
Yes. Oh boy, and then just a lot of battling games here. Battling the bosses.
6,500 backers, another over a million.
Oh,
which is a little shocking.
That is shocking.
Million. Still got 2 weeks to go.
Usually the box office numbers start dropping by the second sequel here.
That's true.
But this one is, I guess I haven't compared it to the other ones, but this one's doing very well, obviously. Not the most backed. I think we had 6,900 there back for one of these.
12,000 for the
Oh yeah, obviously that one has a
A
little
little bit
more.
more.
But yeah, this one is very successful, over 1,000,000, 6,500. Still 16 days to go.
Yeah.
So this could
It
put up
might
some.
get to 2.
It might, probably at one point like 7.5.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just played Final Girl for the first time, and
Is it the final time?
was it the first and final time? I would say no. Because I had a lot of fun with it. It was so punishing, though, in the
It
first game. And the second game I actually ended up winning, but I had been punished so much up to that point that it was kind of shocking. We had a moment where we're like, wait a minute, I might have just won the game.
But
I
assume
could
that you
actually
had-
win it. Just assume that there was still more to come, and I was going to lose, but ended up winning it. Could have gone the other way, though.
All right.
But yeah, it was a pretty cool game. I like the theme and just the pick and choose nature of it. Or I assume pick and choose. I don't know if
I think you can combine them.
pick a final girl from one of them and a kind of or the location and the baddie are tied together.
I think you can swap those as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Because I think they have. So you had different sets of cards that you shuffle together, and you split them back apart. So you can kind of combine all the stuff.
Oh,
I understand.
yeah, nice. So, and being a solo gamer, and I mean, there's a lot of games with this type of theme, but we don't have many, so it would be a unique theme, and there's obviously kind of, they're referencing certain movies with some of these. I think we have kind of like a Nightmare on Elm Street
Essentially.
type thing there. I'm sure there's Friday the 13th, just all these different types of movies being knocked off for these characters, which I have interest in a lot of them that I see. Because I think there's one that's kind of like a quiet place type thing. I'm like, oh, that'd be pretty cool, kind of having to go around quietly on the board. But there's just so much of it out there.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's a little intimidating.
Like, do I just go get individual things? Because I like to have, like, just get a bunch at once type thing. I'm a collector. And I don't know if it's quite to that level after 2 plays to where I'm like, okay, I'm all in on this game. So I think I'll probably just stick to maybe pick up a set every now and then if it's a theme or a character that I like. Or maybe just what's the best one, what's the highest recommended.
Right.
Probably won't go in on this because it is very expensive, although I've been tempted so many times in the past. But yeah, the Eyeless. And what else do we got here? Where's the pledge? Oh boy. North Pole Nightmare Price Tracker, whatever that is. Gameplay. So yeah, gameplay. You're battling a boss.
You're the final girl.
So ours, I feel like the one we played, Freddy Krueger or whatever, probably plays the most different. I would say, not knowing any of the other ones, he felt like he would play very different.
That's what it did seem like, because you could attack him at some points and other points couldn't. But I don't know how. If anyone's played a bunch of them, let us know if you think that one in particular plays different, or which ones are your favorite too.
But the base is kind of having a hand of cards, playing actions to move around the board, attack the bad guy, rescue victims, get them off the board, and gain additional items or abilities throughout, and trying to survive as well.
Oh, there you go. You got a la carte.
A la carte, just choose them. $20 a piece for whichever one that you want from this Season 3, Series 3 here, which has 5 entries, 5 feature films. You can get all of them. Oh, look at that. Look at that discount. That is $1 less than what it would have been if you had...
But, hey, I appreciate that it's not like, they're trying to tempt you into getting all of them. They're saying you can just get your favorite ones and not feel like, oh, well, they're offering, buy 4, get 1 free. It's good in one way for, if you are the person that's going to get all of them. But for someone, I think it helps also other people not feel obligated to go get all of it.
Yeah, that is true. You have convinced me. I'm very happy that they did that. That is very kind.
That's very kind, not
very
giving
kind.
us a deal. Or a big deal of $1.
Yes. You can throw it up to 139 and get some miniatures with them. I don't know how miniatures, if you want miniatures and you're a la carte picking and choosing, I don't know. I'm guessing you'd have to back a whole miniature set.
Yeah, probably.
Don't think they're going to give you one.
I guess, do you think you'd want miniatures based on your one play?
Mm,
I don't know. I don't know that it needs miniatures.
no. I guess I like the meeples. But it might be nice to have just your main character and the villain be miniatures and everyone else just meeples because they're meaningless side characters. But I also like the meeples, so I wouldn't pay that much extra for that. Season 3, so everything for 179, and then everything that has ever possibly
Ultimate
been
collection.
released. All 3 series, all the final girls, all the villains, looks like a neoprene mat, all the miniatures, for 500.
All 3 of the Kickstarter exclusive mystery boxes.
Yeah, yep.
Wow.
549, and this is what I'm talking about when I have looked at it in the past. Be like, oh, get a Kickstarter pledge of Series 2 or Series 1, and I'm like,
Well, the worst
spend
part,
like $300, and I'm like, oh my
the
god.
worst part is when they come out with Season 4,
Mhm.
that's going to be up to $800.
Mhm. Mhm.
But yeah. What was it? If you go back up to the top, I think it was...
Top.
Yeah.
Not that top.
Down a little bit
Just
more.
a little.
Okay, right here.
Okay, yes.
What is this?
Okay, yeah, I was scared of it. I didn't read any
Ultimate
of it. So I was-
box. Yeah, I guess I don't know if that's for this one, because one Kickstarter price of $179 doesn't
Yeah.
seem... But I guess I don't know if it's just a box. Game mat, $30. $30, 30.
So I guess.
5 feature films, 100.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm getting all that stuff. I guess I don't know
So
exactly
yeah,
what that is.
I guess
but
if you get the full all-in Series 3, you looking at them individually, you'll be saving like over $100.
Yeah.
It looks like here. So
yeah, a lot of options.
if that's true, who knows? But it looks.
Otherwise, I think there's a lot of them out there right now that
Yeah.
you can go out and get and have, a ton of fun playing what's already out there.
Yeah. So I think probably first get a few sets, maybe see if it really is that variable and worth adding on extras.
Mm-hmm.
But-
See if all of them still feel that punishing.
Yeah.
So.
Oh boy, and this one, Andrew Mosley artwork. It's like, okay, here's another one. The animals, just be in nature, get some resources, build a community. Okay, another
Flock
one of
together.
these. Flock together. It's peaceful.
Yeah, it's like, okay, what nature game do we have now? It's making 207,000, so it's doing pretty well. Another 2,600 backers, 2 weeks to go.
Go watch.
And then we watch the video.
Go watch the video before we
And
tell
all-
you anything else.
Yes, and we'll give you 5 more seconds to go watch it. And then we will spoil it right now, and it's probably just funny to us. It probably won't be funny to everyone else. They'll be like, well, what was so good about the video? But the second they said Cluckleberry Finn, I lost it, and I was like, are you kidding me? What is this game?
Like,
It's not what the cover made me think at all.
like it just starts off with so much energy in the voiceover. I'm like, oh, that's weird. That's weird. And then it just introduces all of these characters, like you said, Cluckleberry Finn. What is it? What was the Sherlock Holmes one? That was
For Cluck Holmes? I don't remember.
something, but just
It's been a
chicken puns
Yes.
for all these different
like
characters based on other characters, obviously, and they are warriors.
Yes.
Defending this town cooperatively against the baddies that are trying to attack them.
Right. And it's weird because I should have known a game called Flock Together was a cooperative game.
Yeah.
But this whole time I had seen this cover several times before looking at this, and I was just like, it doesn't get me that excited. And then when I saw cooperative, I'm like, cooperative game? I didn't think this was cooperative, but the name pretty much says that's what it is.
It does say it.
And then, it sounded way more interesting than I ever would have thought from that cover.
But yeah, it's got.
Well, not that it couldn't be interesting, but
Yeah.
it felt more fresh than what the
Yeah.
cover. I thought this is going to be like some resource management worker placement type
Yeah.
game or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So over 2 weeks to go, 2,600 backers, 207,000, doing well. But yeah, it is. It's just that. Not often can a video just like completely swing the needle to the other side, but this one did it for me because, like you said, it's just so many of these types of games. It looked like, and then wow, this one does feel unique. This feels like something else. And components-wise, it seems really nice as well because each of the different characters of those and the different baddies have these kind of spiral books that you flip through the pages as they are upgrading and getting stronger, and even the artwork changing a little bit there. And I just love details like that, and it looks like it's going to be so easy to actually be able to manage that. You got wingspan eggs here, and just really nice components. And the theme, which they said immersive, so hopefully it does give me the feel that video gave. Just kind of crazy, wacky characters. It.
It's $80.
It is $80.
I do like the look of a lot of the components, a lot of spiral books there and stuff, like you said. Kind of changing the artwork and stuff as you get better and better. Shell-lock homes.
Yes.
And then you got the same thing for the predators, the ones that you're kind of fighting off. It all looks very cool. It's a little bit more expensive than I'd like. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be exactly something that's going to really, if I'm being serious with myself, stick out in our collection and be something that I'm wanting to get out all the time and play.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be.
Yeah.
It could be.
But nice resource bowls, man.
Those are pretty cool.
Those are cool.
So yeah, I do. I think that's just got the one reward level, right?
Yep. So
I do like that.
Or retailer. But yeah, it's looking for
So it's
June 2024, which is
not
that far away.
Right.
But yeah, and it looks like I think they have Camilla and Z and Joey Evans from the Dice Tower all giving positive thoughts. I haven't watched their playthrough of it, so definitely would check that out before buying it. I
might have to check that out and see what the gameplay actually looks like a little bit more. But yeah, I would have never, before watching that video, I probably would not have given this one. I didn't really give it a second look.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll maybe look into it a little bit more. I'm thinking this one seems to be doing well enough that it will probably be hopefully available after the fact.
Yeah. Sadly, shipping is
another
still gonna be 20, so that's like $100 there
$100.
then, and that's probably like the max that we pay for it, just because we don't know exactly how much we would like it, and it looks really nice, and it's got a lot of great components. But like you said, we just have so many games. Would this stand out?
Right. Yeah, and it's not just this game. It's a lot of the ones we've looked at as well. Even if some of them, it seems like we're like, 120 for that, dragon, whatever, isn't that much. That is as well. So I mean, it does make it tough to know which ones of these to get, and otherwise you can, maybe wait and hope that maybe you can get this one for, I guess maybe this at worst the $70-ish, $80 after the fact, and maybe not have to pay shipping possibly. Save you a little bit of money, but not 100% sure either that it will be available. I guess I don't know who's coming out with this one.
Sea Cow Games first created.
I guess that makes it a little bit.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know.
Although they
That's hard to
backed
tell.
13, so they know what they're doing.
Well, yeah, that's fair. I just don't have any of their other games to compare. Like, that one. If it's a company that has multiple games and they're all available in retail, you can usually guess that it's probably going to be in retail. It's a little harder to tell with smaller companies.
I feel like artwork as well. If it's from a familiar artist, it just feels like a safer pick when not necessarily.
Speaking of them, familiar artists.
Speaking of familiar artists, the man who does his artwork for all his games.
And does everything for all his games.
Does everything. Him
Well,
and his wife.
wife.
Him and his wife, yes. And
I think
children
they have,
as well. Who
I think they have help with
contributed
other
some.
things. So. Creature Caravan by Red Raven Games. And I knew that, I think that had been announced, I don't know if it was the same time as Dragon, but there were some other games. I think they did like a Game Found Feast or something where they announced like some of the games that were coming out for, whatever part of 2023, and that was one of them. So I knew that was coming out, and I would say from the cover, it's a good-looking cover. Ryan
different artwork than the rest of his covers. It feels different.
It does feel different, but at the same time, it wasn't getting me all that excited. So I was like, I don't think that I'll have to like back that or anything. But then the campaign launched, and maybe it had been announced beforehand. I don't know. But then I saw, wait a minute, I think I had gotten it's either an email or something. I probably signed up for something and got the notification. And I look at the picture, I'm like, is that Islebound? And I thought it was an expansion to Islebound. I'm like, wow, they coming out with this, and they didn't even announce that was going to be a part of it, but it's actually a reprinting kind of Islebound, and it's an Emerald edition. There's some changes to it, and Islebound is one that I've been wanting to get.
Played it once years ago on Tabletop.
It probably won't live up to what I remember. But yeah, it's been one I've been really excited about, and unfortunately for Creature Caravan, I'm more excited about Islebound than Creature Caravan, but that one's probably good too. But
yeah, 12 days left. It's a Red Raven game. It's going to be pretty popular. Over 1,900 backers, nearly 2,000, and $213,000. So I guess I don't know how well their projects usually do. I would think. I mean, there are 12 days left.
I would have maybe expected it to be a little
more.
bit better than this. It's not awful, but it's also hard because their last ones have been Sleeping Gods and Sleeping God. The two, basically.
Yeah, Distant Skies.
Distant Skies, which I think a lot of people are really excited about, obviously coming off of that. So I can definitely see why this one wouldn't be as exciting. But they do have, 3, new games, special edition, and RPG game as well. RPG. Not role-playing game. But, I'm not really that into role-playing games, so that doesn't really do anything for me, that one. But the other ones, well, Islebound for sure, and then I think Creature Caravan looks like it could be good.
I'm probably more interested in Creature Caravan than Islebound. I had played Islebound with you, and I liked it. Haven't been just waiting for it to become available again like you have, but I don't know. I feel like the kind of different look for Creature Caravan just feels fresh for me. And then also the change to the look of Islebound on the cover. I will say, sail there, turning it emerald or whatever, green, kind of just matches with the rest of the cover. And I'm like, I really like the original cover.
It was not my favorite change to the cover.
We'll get to the cover whenever it shows up, but I'm like, I really like that original cover.
I agree.
It's so striking with that boat in the center, and now it's just not as much, sadly.
I would agree.
But yeah, this cover, I wasn't totally sold on it right away, but then for a series we are working on dealing with artists and our favorite covers from popular artists, we were looking at Locket ones, and as I took a closer look, like just zoomed in at the image, I'm like, that actually is really nice. So this one has grown for me over time and gotten me way more interested in the game. And I think it uses, does this one use dice as well? Which
you're going around collecting different creatures for your caravan, and I think you're like chaining some actions together, if I remember right. I mean, it could be something that we would like. I wasn't exactly 100% sure how it worked, but yeah, I figured maybe give it a little more of a look if I have not actually ended up backing Islebound Emerald Edition yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see. If I do, then I'll probably take another closer look at how Creature Caravan is actually played and see if it looks like something I would enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise I think they're reprinting some of their other stuff as well.
Yeah.
I think most of their other ones that they have on there are a little bit more easy to get a hold of.
Yeah,
but
I think the expansion, or was it an expansion? I guess we'll get to it.
I think it was
a role-playing game, and then what was it? So
you can get everything new. 150, which is what it is.
Yeah.
Not awful, but
yeah. You can go just the creatures for 50, just the new board games for Creature Caravan and Islebound for $100. Retailer pledge for 101 all three. If you're a real retailer, there you go. But you can add them on. Obviously, $50 there, $50 there. Which it is interesting sometimes when they are like the same price. I'm like, are they actually that even, or is it just they just do that just for simple sake?
That's I'm not sure of.
But yeah, I got Near and Far as well as the expansion, Amber Mines. I assume that's an expansion. They got Rome as well, which is another one of their games. And they got the Rome Metal Frog coins.
Look pretty cool.
Which, yes, if we get a little zoomed in there, they do look really cool. I didn't know till just now that those were for Rome, but now we're gonna have to get Rome to go along with those metal frog coins.
I honestly don't know too much about Rome, so yeah.
We got Gem Maps expansion, upgrade pack if you have the original Islebound and want to upgrade it with whatever they changed. Kind of changed some of the actions and stuff, I think. We got Above and Below for $40. Just jumping around the page here.
Yeah, and I think if one of their stretch goals is if they reach like 300,000, then they'll reprint the like City of Iron or something, which I think is also one that's out of print.
Oh yeah.
So
one you're also interested in.
I am interested in that, so I'm kind of keeping an eye on whether or not it gets there. I don't know if it will or not.
So, yeah, so that's kind of the original cover, which is a regular thing. Why'd you change it? So if there's an option, let's put another stretch goal in here. Get
original cover.
Your choice of cover. There you go. Or if we get this, if anyone wants to trade covers, we can do that. I'm sure that's safe to send.
Cover.
But shipping, oh boy, $30 shipping.
Ooh, that's a little tough, but it says the estimates below are for an everything new pledge.
Okay, so
I mean,
like three.
Probably
end
up getting, if I back, probably end up getting close to something like that. So I'm guessing at minimum it's still gonna probably come around at $15 to $20, like a lot of them are these days. So
yeah,
not awful, but not great either.
So I guess if just on the spot, are you gonna get it? Are you gonna get Islebound?
I don't know. Maybe.
He is very torn. He is very torn. And maybe with these coming out there, maybe original editions would then be given up and sold.
That's true.
And you could maybe snag one of those for a nice price. So
I might.
You could probably wait, maybe.
I
or
might get it. I might get it just to have it.
Yeah.
It has been one that's been on kind of my wish list of like potential games at some point if they were available for a decent price. So
and Mac
50 isn't awful.
Mac really likes the Ancient World, which is, I feel like these are some of the lesser story-driven games of Ryan Lockett. So she really likes that one. I would say this is probably the closest to that of his other games.
Yeah.
So I think it wouldn't be the worst buy. It's a pretty safe one for the group to like.
Outside of you, of course.
Yeah.
I think it'd make it easier if you really liked it.
Yeah.
So.
Which we'll have to give it another try.
The Emerald Edition. Change it all up. You'll really like this. But yeah, so that's many projects, many dollars. I don't even know what the grand total was of all of them.
Goodness.
Probably 4 or 5 million, because a lot of them are doing really well.
Hundreds of
Not
thousands.
just
a couple of them are millions.
Yeah, that's true. There was another. Yeah, it might even be more than that, which isn't a typical week. I mean,
No.
we got a lot of them on here, but at the same time, I mean, most of them are making pretty good chunks of money. So yeah, it's definitely the time of year. It seems like it kind of seems like there's two kind of big times a year, right before summer and kind of after summer.
Yeah.
Seems like the big times of a lot of games being new games coming out. So right now is the boon for these ones, which you'll receive probably a half year to a year and a half from now. So you won't actually be getting these ones, but then you'll have, I think, other games that are actually coming out, soon and stuff.
Yeah.
That you can hopefully play within the next month or so.
Yeah.
So, let us know if you've made it this far in the comments below. Let us know if you like the initial original Islebound cover or this new one better. Maybe we're the oddballs on this one. Maybe everyone likes this one. I think it's far superior. But otherwise, we hope to see you on the next one. And as always, don't forget to
keep on nibbling
on our content.